Hey, besties. Welcome back to another episode of the Besties podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa.
And I'm your co-host, Samira, a.k.a. Samski.
And today we have a special episode for you. You know, we got a Dear Besties, the messiest episode yet. We're talking situationships, money drama, and Hollywood chaos. Uh-oh.
I know the besties did not hold back in the DMs, okay? So we're about to get real. We're going to keep it a stack, per usual, from the biggest celebrity feuds, kind of fake friends, controversial friendship debates. So let's just get right into it.
What do the besties got to say? What questions y'all have for us?
So going into segment 1, just fake besties and internet drama. So one of the besties lists, they pretty much was said, "Dear bestie, my bestie keeps taking jabs at my other friend, and I feel stuck, like in the middle. How do I handle that situation?"
Damn, bestie, that's a hard one. I need all my besties to get along, but if one of my besties is taking jabs at my other bestie, I feel like I gotta check the one taking jabs. I'm gonna have to defend my girl either way.
I think, okay, but let's take a step back, right?
We need context.
Okay, not even context, but don't you feel like when besties are kind of in a trio,
Okay.
it maybe one is closer than the other a little bit?
I think that can happen, yeah.
So do you feel like if you did stand up for the person that was taking jabs and you're not, you know, the other girl, maybe y'all have closer ties, your loyalty, maybe she'll be like, dang, you're not loyal?
I think potentially, but the way I navigate friendships, I'm a real ass bitch.
Period.
I'm a real ass bitch. So I'm going to have like my own thoughts and perceptions of the situation. So if I feel like, you know, let's say friend A and friend B, right? If I feel like friend A, her points really are not valid and I'm not resonating with why she's upset and her jobs feel like they're not making any sense or they're giving hater vibes, I'm going to tell her it's giving hater vibes. But if maybe there is validity and friend B did something that, you know, was a little bit weird, a little bit shady, I'm going to have to tell my friend B, hey, babes.
Hey, baby.
Hey, babes.
Yeah, I think,
What do you think?
You hit on the nail with this one because, to be honest, at the end of the day, whether we friends or not, we always got to keep it a stack. And even if one friend's closer than the other, if you acting shady, I'm gonna let you know, okay?
Yeah.
One thing about us,
We always gonna keep it a stack.
we gonna keep it a stack, and also we give credit where credit's due, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is, if I see you're walking around shady, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, hey, I'm gonna let you slide on that. Like, you have to be a good friend no matter what.
Yeah.
So
I want to see the best in all my friends. So I'm going to hold you accountable. I expect the same from my friends too. There's always a two-way street over here.
Yeah.
So that's our advice, babes. We hope it helps.
yes.
Another question, another DM.
All right.
Dear bestie, why do some people seem to thrive off of drama? Is it ever best to just ignore the negativity? What should I do?
Okay, this is tough. Maybe don't take my advice. Because I love the tea. I love spilling the tea. I love hearing the tea.
Uh-oh.
So I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. Spill the tea. Be a pot stirrer, okay? Be the
What?
bone carrier. Yes, because first of all, I guess you need context, right? You need context because if it's like somebody's talking, saying something about you, like what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna confront it. You're just gonna stir away from it. Not a lot of people, they don't like confrontation, right? So they're like, you know what? I'm gonna just let this slide. Like, you also need to advocate for yourself and you need to speak up. Like, so I'm not saying like they're thriving off the drama, but I do think a lot of people will shy away from maybe confrontation because they don't want the drama to arise to begin with. No, baby cakes. We're about advocating, speaking up for ourselves. And if anybody's talking ill about you, make sure you check them.
Period. For those of you who don't know, we are still waiting for the day where Samira becomes a housewife. Because she gonna let these girls know up front what the vibe is.
I'm ready. Okay, Real Housewives of New York is casting. I am submitting my submission.
Yup.
I might be too young for the housewives. They're a little bit older, but
It's okay.
Maybe they need a young gal.
Yeah, they need a young gal. I mean,
What do you think?
Why do some people thrive off of drama? I think this is like a context situation because I love some good tea too. Like we go back and forth and talk about tea.
We love us some tea. Don't be acting like that. We will be ready. FaceTime call. Liz, we'll all get in our little group chat ready to spill the tea. So let's not.
I can't lie. Because life is too boring to be bored all the time. Like, I'm not trying to be bored. I'm trying to be bored. But I think there's a difference between the people who just like tea and like if something's going on, we gonna chat about it. We gonna give our 2 cents.
You're right.
Versus the other kind of person who is like, there's really no reason to be confrontational. There's really no reason to like pull shit out of nowhere, for lack of a better term. That's the kind of girl I usually steer away from, the one who's like a little too much to stir the pot. Not like...
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. It's got to be a balance. Like, there's a... And also, let me be clear, not everything needs confrontation, right? Because some people, they just want to stir something.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, not everything needs confrontation, but when it comes to like defending who you are, because a lot of people too, they'll come for your character, and by any means, shape, or form, I say defend now, right?
Absolutely.
But if you just trying to pick a bone just to pick a bone, like, come on, sis. Like, you also want to give yourself peace, but...
Yeah. I don't really love a negative Nancy 24/8. I'm going to keep it a stack, but I also love some tea. So I think there has to be a balance here.
Yeah.
The advice for the girlies, just if you a drama-free gal, don't be around the drama, and don't make drama out of nothing either.
I have a question for you. You know, my self-life love coach. Do you feel like there has to maybe, if somebody wants to be around drama all the time, maybe they're insecure? Is that something inner here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why those are the kinds of girls I steer away from that I don't really want in my friend group, because I don't really trust them.
Yeah.
Though there's a type of a woman or a type of a person. It's not even women. Men are like this too. Hey, men are like this too. Let me just say that again.
Clock that T.
That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like if you're the type of person who's a really huge negative Nancy and you're always looking for drama, always trying to create something out of nothing, like always trying to fight about nothing, there is definitely a wound there. And I always say your triggers are the way through. There's something there triggering you that you're always kind of looking to pick a fight out of nothing. There's definitely work that needs to be done. But tea is a different situation. Like enjoying someone who's just like, what's the tea? What's the tea? What's going on with society? What's the vibe? Or what's going on with this friend or that friend? And we're just chopping it up. Hey, I'm human. I like tea too.
Yeah, I hear you. So we're going to switch gears here a little bit.
All right.
Next segment, are we normalizing fake friendships, sis? Okay, dear bestie, this is the questions from one of the girlies. My best friend and I are growing apart. And before I really deep dive into this question, I think it's very natural, right? Sometimes people are in different seasons of their life, and that's okay. But before I get into it, let me finish this question. But I don't know how to bring it up. So my best friend, we're growing apart. I don't know how to bring it up. How do I address it without causing drama?
This is a good one. I also agree with you, Samira. I like how you preface this question because people are going to grow, and sometimes you just happen to go on different paths, and I think that's okay, especially as you get older into adulthood, right? For my college girlies, even sometimes you may be friends with someone for 10 years, but they're in that same place they have been for the last 10 years. They're not growing. And it's no shade to them. Like, they may be really happy in their life the way they are. You may be craving more, craving something different. And you need to have alignment for longevity, right? I always say this for relationships, but it's the same thing for friendships. You got to be aligned one way or another.
But I have a question though, because even if you're aligned, it doesn't mean not aligned doesn't mean throw away the friendship. Yeah. And the reason why I say this,
I agree with that.
Because especially us, we're in our 20-something age, and I think this is the biggest time where everyone's in different seasons. We got friends that are either getting engaged, that are having a baby, and then there's us that may be still taking a trip, starting a podcast, living our dream. We got other friends that maybe they're still clubbing, they're still living in their college life, they're still shaking that ass at Bijou, okay? we got different variety here, and that's okay. I don't, there's levels to this, but I feel like there's not a need to throw away the friendship, but need to understand that some people are in different seasons, and that's okay. Like, if maybe y'all were hanging out all the time, like, it's okay to like maybe fall back a little bit. And I realized this, and this is from my own personal experience, when I first got into my relationship, and my good friend, like, we used to go out in Dallas. Shout out to you, OJ, if you listen to this episode. But essentially, she realized, like, I was really like in my relationship, I was locked in. Like I wasn't going out the way I used to. Like I just wasn't that person anymore. And I think at first maybe she wasn't that happy with me because I wasn't that person. But like we had a conversation where she's like, I just realized you're in a different season in your life. And now look at her. She has a baby. She's so happy. And she's in a different season than me. Like I got on a flight today to record this. Like somebody that's a mom, they don't have that,
freedom.
That freedom, or that's not their life anymore. But that's okay. Like I still have love for that person, but we're just in a different season.
I love that. So let me ask you this follow-up question. How did you go about having that conversation, right? Because the bestie says,
it's tough.
What does she say? How do I address it? How do I bring it up without causing drama?
I guess experiencing it when I was in the midst of it, it was a very awkward place for me. I didn't know how to bring it up because I'm like, I didn't want to not feel like a good friend to this person, right? Like I kind of avoided the conversation, but she could obviously see like, okay, I'm with my man, I'm with my family. Like I'm just not that person. And I felt a little bit of guilt because I could tell she was getting upset with me, but I'm like, this is just where I am. So if I could go back, honestly, I would have just been straight up about it and just been like, sis, like, that's just not me anymore. Like, I'm not, I used to be the girl shaking ass at bijou. Like, I used to be that girl out with the girls in college and having a great time. And not saying, I'll still have fun here and there, but
yeah,
I'm not out in the clubs like that. I'm locked in. I'm chasing my dreams. I'm building a career, and I'm very, very family oriented, and you will not see me in the streets past a certain time. Like that's just, I be in bed. I be in my bed.
She be sleep.
Okay. I only
10 o'clock.
And my mom. I'm sorry. Shout out Drake.
Man. Anyways, I definitely love that advice. I think to answer this question, we would probably have a FaceTime conversation or something, and then just keep it a stack with your bestie. Yeah. Just, check in on her, how she is, and then, I would say tell her about your life, how you're doing, and just casually bring up, kind of how you've been feeling and see what they say.
I could say it's harder than it sounds, right? Like, because I experience it. You don't want to let that person down, but I think the conversation is important for both of your friendships because you just got to set the expectations.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you're really close with her. Yeah. Otherwise, you could just let it drift.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps. Moving on.
Great question.
Okay. Dear bestie, one more question. More short. Dear bestie, is it normal to feel jealous when your bestie makes new friends, or am I being possessive?
Nah, fuck that. Let me stop.
What you mean you got another friend?
I know. What you mean? What you mean you got another bestie?
Another bestie?
Liz loves to do this to me,
I do.
Bro. I'm like, Liz, you don't got no other bestie. Don't do that.
That's so I've been saying that to Samira, though, when she doesn't pick up my calls or someone else is calling her. I'm like, what do you mean you got other friends?
First of all, she literally knows all of my friends. Don't do this.
I know.
And one of them is my family member that I call all the time. It's between her and my cousin every day. So
it's just the cheese day, you guys. We can share Samsky, I guess. I get enough of her ass every single day with baddie besties in our life.
Yeah. I think this is a great, great question. It's a balance, besties. It's a balance because obviously, as we're growing and we're in different seasons, and maybe you're 20-something, and maybe you're in a different season than that close friend. Like, you want to find friends that align. You said it, alignment for longevity, right? So you're meeting new friends. You're finding people that are in your, what is the word? Your alignment, or
like your niche, your vibe, your vibration, your your lifestyle, all of those things.
Exactly. And I'm not saying, okay, drop your friends, but I'm saying it's okay to make new friends. But at least for me, I wouldn't say I get jealous, but I'd be like, even, Brittany, she be posting her friends. I said, girl,
you don't like them as much as us.
I said, girl, girl, she be getting a new tall girl or something. I said, nah, baby, it's me only, okay? It's me only. But I let them know I'm forever the real one. You could have as many new friends come by, pass by. Maybe they're in the same season of your life. I'm forever.
Period. We locked in. Don't you forget it.
Yeah.
Period. So I don't know if we answered that, but that's kind of how we are.
Yeah, that's how we be.
Yeah.
We're not possessive, like, oh my God, like, don't talk to anybody, but we just let the friend know, like, we the day one A1s.
Yeah,
like,
we'll just make jokes. But I do think this is important, really quick, to touch on adult friendships, like making friends as an adult. Because I think when we were in school, right, we were in college, we went to college together, y'all know, and it was easier to make friends there because you're in an environment, you're in a social environment to make friends. You're in classes, you're in academics, you're in buildings, like there's parties down the street, whatever, all kinds of stuff going on, right? I do feel like things change once you move into adult life. So I just recommend to my girlies, as your friends are growing and evolving and moving through their lives too, that you are just pushing yourself a little bit more out of your comfort zone to do the same. Try a new yoga class, go on Eventbrite and find something that's going on, right?
That's the one.
Like join something, do something.
Don't confuse too. Some people, like your networking friends, they may not be your besties you tell your business to, right? Like you could still make new friends and be in different spaces, but they're not the ones that you're telling, like spilling your heart to. Like it's okay to bring people in and you're not like complete like besties and giving your whole life story to. Like there's a balance too, especially as we grow and we're adulting. Like I'm not telling all my business to everybody.
No, so. I think you can have different friends for different things too. You can have friends that you just go out with and you don't tell them your business. You can have friends that you work on business ideas with, right? Sometimes you'll get really lucky and you'll have a couple of friends that you can do all kinds of stuff with. That's us. And that's us. I can do business. I can talk business. I have a couple girls I can count probably on one hand that I could tell anything to, and I, can party with, and I can work on businesses with, all the things, right? So I definitely feel like overall.
Let me see. I got.
How many friends you got?
Names.
How many friends? I can think of at least like 7 or 8.
Child, I keep my business.
Not with my business, but that I'll talk to on a regular basis.
I think
my business probably 3.
Yeah, it's 4.
Yours is 4.
One is my cousin. And one is you.
Mine is
3. So
3.
It's 2 more. Anyways.
Oh, and my brother. Does he count? 4. So yeah, that gives y'all some context.
That's important. All right, let's move on to segment 2, money moves or money mess, honey. Okay, you know me. We love talking about that shmoney. So we need to tap into besties when it comes to shmoneys, okay? So dear bestie, here one of the questions. Dear bestie, my best friend owes me money but keeps posting luxury purchases. Should I confront her?
Yes. Yes, but I don't think confront is the word. I think check-in, conversation. If my bestie's posted luxury purchase, is what you said. You didn't say she's like buying groceries or she's, having dinner every so often where she's with her man or she's with her friends. Like not some just like I need to get out the house, but like she's buying luxury stuff. She's spending thousands of dollars.
She's buying a bag.
She coming Dior. She got Dior. She's at Prada. She on vacation. She doing all this stuff. She owes you 1, 2, 3 racks, or maybe she just owes you $50, and you're like, I thought she was gonna pay me back for it or something. I don't think it's a bad
thing to have a conversation.
Like even like a reminder. I think framing and tone is the most important because if money is a sensitive topic for a lot of people, it can be very triggering. So if I come to my friend and I'm like, and I text her, that's mad fake, you buying all this stuff, but you owe me $50, that's probably not gonna sit right in her spirit. She might even forgot that she owes me money, or maybe she hasn't been thinking about it. Maybe she did forget.
And the crazy thing too is people be posting for the gram. For all we know, it could be her mama's bag. It could be, I think context is important. It could be like somebody purchased it for it too. So you really don't want to be coming to her some way and like you gonna end up looking stupid because she's gonna be like, damn sis, like
that was a gift.
I know my mama got me that bag or something like and you would be flawed for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you do what you said, set the tone, the way you're about to phrase it. And you could also, like, when you're on FaceTime, you could just slyly be like, dang, girl, I saw you got a new bag. And she'll probably just tell you anyways how she got it or how she received it. So you could get the answer yourself. I think assumption, right? Don't make an ass out of yourself, baby cakes. So make an ass out of you and me. My uncle used to tell me that. So don't assume.
Yeah. And I do think you should talk to anyone that you love with respect anyways.
Yeah.
And, with a filter of love. Okay. So, yeah, I would check in with her and ask her about it, especially if it matters to you and it's money that you want to get back. But just be smart about the way you go about it, babes.
Ooh, I like this question really quick. I'm gonna ask you it. Dear bestie, have you ever had a friendship fall apart over money?
Actually, no, I haven't. I don't know if you have. The face you made, it was like maybe you thought of a story. I've never had a friendship. I've never had a friendship fall apart over money. But I will say I am very, I don't want to say stingy per se, but like I don't let people borrow money like a lot. So if I do, you have to be someone I really, really, really trust. And I not even someone I really trust and someone that I know I can like count on and is going to bring it back to me. Because I can think of a couple people in my head, even just like family members that that haven't paid me back before for stuff when they said, oh yeah, I'll cash up you or something like that. Like I'll notice those things. I'm not someone who's super pressed about every single coin, every single dollar. So I'm not going to say nothing, but I still will note it. I still know who I'm dealing with. So I'm not going to just be like, yeah, you can borrow $1,000 or you can borrow $500 or $2,000. I'm just not. Versus my brother, for example, he's definitely been known to like let people borrow money, like family and friends and stuff. And he's come to me, upset about not getting paid back. And, this friend is out doing this stuff, doing that stuff. And he's experienced it. And I'm just like, no, I just don't even ask me because I'm not going to give it to you. That's kind of been me. I know that might not be the best thing, but I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all.
I can't think of a story on the top of my head, but what I can say is the friends that I have were cut from the same cloth. And what I mean by that is if I feel comfortable to ask you, or if I feel or if they feel comfortable to ask me, we have that communication and trust in place. So I'm not going to get into a situation where I'm going to lose a friendship over it. Like, it's just, that's not how my relationships are built and how they're shaped. Like, it's either a simple conversation or, like, I wouldn't have lent it to you anyways if I didn't trust you. So if it's brought up and the person is comfortable to come to me, because only a few people in between would feel comfortable, like, I would give it to it in a heartbeat, and I know I'm going to get it back. Like, I don't need to chase this person down because I know I'm going to get it back. Like, I have that trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Place. Yeah.
I think, cut from the same cloth. Yeah. And trust is the biggest thing. Don't give money to someone that you don't trust 100%, because now
you're going to have to be running for your coins.
Or like, you're hilarious.
You're going to be like this.
Yeah, you're going to be running for your coins.
Ooh,
or now you got beef. Or now you got beef with someone that you didn't have beef with before. So that just sucks. I think have the boundaries up front. Know what you're doing. Know what you're doing with your money and who you're giving it to is the best advice I can give.
Period.
Poo. You heard it here first.
Go to the next segment, because we besties, we be letting the time fly on us.
We be chatting. We gotta let them know.
We're gonna have 2 more questions for y'all, and we're gonna be 2 different segments. One, recipe for disaster when it comes to business and money, and then we're gonna go into self-love.
Awesome. So here's a question. This would be really good for me and sis. We got advice for this one. Dear bestie, I want to start a business with my bestie, but people keep warning me against it. Is it really a bad idea? What do you think, Samira?
This goes back to the same question when it came to money, right? If I can't trust you with money, I cannot go into business with you either. I think cut from the same cloth, okay? Right? This is a great question. I mean, even for us, like, because baddie besties, it started off as like a passion, but now the goal is, God willingly, this enterprise, this empire that we're building together, and it requires money. It requires work. I think business too, there's the money aspect, but also the person's work ethic, right? If you know the person don't want to work, they're lazy, you got to run after them for stuff. That's another thing. Like, it's a whole other situation outside of the whole financial piece, right? Like, I think it's important. If you know your friend, don't have that expectation or wanting to start a business if you know sis don't like to work and she want to be chilling at the beach on a Monday afternoon and don't want to work. Like, I think there's many levels to creating a business.
Absolutely.
So you need somebody that has good work ethic, good with their money, and mind your business too. Like, there's a lot of different expenses. You have to split it. You have to be open about it. Like, it's a lot of different components. And if you don't have the trust in place, and if you know your friend don't want to work, don't even set yourself up for that failure.
Period. Period. I agree. You know, businesses, there's this idea that, you know, being a CEO boss lady, it sounds all fun. Having a business, working for yourself, it sounds all fun. This shit is so fucking hard, you guys. It's so hard.
Tiring.
And I have to swear for emphasis. I had to put 2 swears in that sentences. Did I say 2?
Yeah.
No, I did 1, but I did a really hard emphasis, right? Because it's really that hard. It's going to push you to expand. It's going to push you with everything, with your money, with your mindset, with how you collaborate with people, like how you operate on days where you're going through a breakup, or you're exhausted, or something happens, or you just want to have fun, or your money's down bad, or you didn't expect X, Y, and Z, and now you're in X, Y, and Z, and now you got to deal with it, right? So I agree with Samira. It has to be with someone that you trust. It has to be with someone who sees the vision how you see it, has a similar passion behind it. It cannot just be, oh, we have a good idea, let's start something, because you are not going to get far. I promise you that much.
I think the biggest thing, and you said it too, trust, right? Like, because trust and accountability, because there's some days that where maybe I fall short or you fall short. You also need to know, is that partner going to hold it down for me too? Like, it's kind of like you're kind of in a relationship. It may not be like a sexual or, you know, that type of relationship, but it's obviously a business relationship, and you need to know that person is going to be there, and you'll be able to count on them, right? So it's a lot of aspects, and I think trust is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
If you can't, honestly, a business, like, depending on how much you invest or and all the time you put in, it's a baby, right? If you cannot trust, and really, you could think about this. If you do not trust a person with your own child, right? If you could leave the country and trust them with your own child, then you can't start a business with that person. And best believe, I could leave my child with Liz.
Yeah, I could leave my child with Samira.
I could go to Barbados, Turks and Caicos. I could be on the beach shaking my booty. I've been shaking my booty all day today. What is going on? I could just be having a good merry old time, and I could leave my child with you, and just know that's why we created this, because.
Yeah. And not just like leave the child for the month, not just leave the child for a day or for the weekend, you know, because people, they could do a day or a weekend, but can they do a month? Yeah. What's their attitude going to be like? What's the treatment of the child going to be like? Are they going to take care of it, right? And one last thing, like Samira said, I just want to bounce off one of your points. You said that with businesses, some days she will have 100 and I will have 30, or vice versa. Samira's a hard worker. I know if I'm overwhelmed or I'm anxious or I'm going through something, she's going to do her best to do as much as she can, even if I'm like, not bitch. Bitch, sis, I only have 10%. Yeah. She's going to cover the 90, or she's going to do 80, and then the other 10 we'll figure out the next day. Or vice versa. If I know she's really tired or she's really sad, like, and I have that knowledge, I'm not going to add to her plate if there's something I can do. If I can brainstorm and figure something else out, like, I'm going to thug it out. I'm going to figure it out. And you have to be in partnership with people that are like that, so you guys can, you know,
but that's what I love about our relationship and just baddie besties is, like, it's also unspoken. Like, we don't really have to say, okay, sis, I only got 10% today. Like, we know, and we talk a lot. So the partnership and just making this podcast come alive, like, we know each other. And I think if you trust the person and you know the person you're going into business with, like, some things don't need to be said, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if one of us are going through it, we're gonna be like, okay, this got to get done, and we find a way to get it done.
We do,
because when it's a dream, and you know,
it's a baby, it's our baby. Exactly. Baddie Besties is our baby.
Exactly. You can't leave a baby on the street, you know, unoccupied. Like, you know, you can't do that.
You gotta feed the baby.
Exactly.
Burp the baby.
Change the diaper. There's so many
all that stuff. So,
but anyways, let's actually end on that note. Besties, there were so many questions.
I know, there's so much more.
So many questions,
we'll do another one.
We'll have to do another one. But as you know, we may stir the pot.
It's going to get hot.
But trust.
You just hit the jackpot.
Okay. Love you guys. Make sure to tap in, like, subscribe. Y'all, you can find us on YouTube, all the streaming platforms, on Instagram, on TikTok. Hopefully it stays. And just make sure to like, subscribe, show love.
Yep, you know where to find us. And we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
bye.